Hi everyone, welcome back to my astrology channel. Now today I will be talking about the month of June 2026 and the astrological aspects, ingresses, transits in the month of June 2026. So basically this is going to be your astrology forecast for the month of June 2026. Now before I begin my video, I just want to thank everyone for your contribution, for your likes, comments and your subscription. I really appreciate all your contribution. And to all the new subscribers, welcome to my channel. I hope you all find value in my content. Now, the main focus in the month of June 2026 will be on the signs of Cancer, Gemini, and Leo because planets are ingressing or moving in these signs in this month. So there's a lot of focus on wherever the Cancer sign, Gemini sign, and Leo sign sits in your chart. So obviously you need to pull out your natal chart and just see which houses these signs occupy. That's the area that will be most affected during the month of June. Now, the very first day of the month of June, that is 1st of June, Mercury enters the sign of Cancer. Now, Cancer is a cardinal water sign and it deals with our emotions. And Mercury, on the other hand, is very logical energy. So there's already a sort of a clash here. Mercury deals with lower mind, meaning our logical side, how we think, how we analyze and how we process our thought patterns. And Cancer is all about nurturing. It's about emotions. It's about inner security, your emotional foundation and all that. So with Mercury in the sign of Cancer, our thought process, our patterns of thinking, our mindset, our communication style as well, the speech, all becomes heavily impacted by our emotions, intuition, and memory. Conversation now shifts towards our inner feelings. It becomes a little bit more sensitive. The speech of Mercury in the sign of Cancer is very much based on our emotions. We are more sensitive. We are more emotionally attuned in our speech and the way we communicate, basically. Now, in the later part of the month, Mercury will go retrograde in the sign of Cancer, which I will cover in a bit. So there can be some sort of misunderstanding during that time. Now, obviously, the main message with Mercury in the sign of Cancer is don't just think your words, feel it. Now, the first 13 days of the month of June, Venus will be in the sign of Cancer. So Mercury will be interacting with Venus as well. This is really great time to express yourself emotionally, whether it's your relationship matters, your value system, how you express yourself in relationship, in a romantic way, in affectionate way. This is a great time to express more from heart space than mental space. Now, on the 13th of June, Venus changes sign. So from Cancer, it moves in the sign of Leo. Now, Venus in the sign of Leo is grand gestures of love because Venus in Leo expresses love very boldly, very visibly. It's a very outward expression of love. Venus in Leo. So there will be desire for attention, romance, love, pleasure, creativity, passion, all that. Love here becomes very dramatic, sometimes over the top, very visible, very expressive, very confident. Now, Leo is ruled by the sun. So with Venus in Leo, there's an egoistic element to the love as well. So the expression of love can also be a matter of ego expression more than just a heart-centered expression here. So just be mindful of that energy. Now, on the 14th of June, there's a new moon in the sign of Gemini. So wherever your Gemini sign sits in your chart, that's the area you will get an opportunity to set new intention, have fresh start and all that. Now, Gemini is a mutable air sign and it deals with communication, conversations, connection, socializing, curiosity, deals with learning, short trips, your everyday reality, basically. So with new moon in the sign of Gemini, there will be some sort of new start in the way you express yourself, the way you communicate, your speech. Maybe you want to learn something new. This is basically a mental reset. A new narrative begins with this new moon. Now, on the 19th of June, one of the most crucial transit ingress of the year is occurring, which is Chiron is moving signs. So it's shifting from the sign of Aries to the sign of Taurus. Since 2019, Chiron has been transiting through the sign of Aries. On the 19th of June, it will shift in the sign of Taurus for a few months, and then it will retrograde back in the sign of Aries. But then again in 2027, it will move back in the sign of Taurus. So this is a major long-term shift occurring in the month of June. Now, Taurus is the sign that is associated with our stability, our self-worth, our resources, how we sustain ourselves, how we see our value basically. And Chiron is the wounded healer, means it has this trauma-informed kind of energy. So here with Chiron entering the sign of Taurus, you will have this opportunity to heal your sense of worthiness, your self-worth, how you see yourself, what you value, what you appreciate, where you put your energy, what sustains you, what stabilizes you, what grounds you. So old wounds around values, survival, security, resources, money matters, stability, all that will surface, and we will have to heal these wounds going forward. Now, on the 21st of June, Sun moves in the sign of Cancer and the Cancer season begins. So the focus will shift from Sun being in the sign of Gemini to Sun being in the sign of Cancer. So there's a lot of focus on our emotions, emotional foundation, tradition, family, home, our living situation, people around us, our own sense of security, stability, emotion, security, stability, and peace. Now, on the 28th of June, Mars enters Gemini. Now, as I mentioned, Gemini is a sign of communication and our mindset, our logical mind. And Mars is energy, desire, drive, action, and all that. So Mars entering the sign of Gemini will bring this energy to the way we communicate. Now, Gemini is a mutable sign, so the energy here becomes fast-paced, becomes fragmented, becomes restless, and very much mentally driven. So our action taking and decision making shifts from the Taurus energy, which is grounded, intentional, and practical, to the Gemini energy, which is going to be all about ideas, communication, and multitasking. Now, on the 29th of June, there's a full moon in the sign of Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is the 10th sign of the zodiac. It's a cardinal earth sign, and full moon is all about culmination, clarity, understanding, awareness, endings, and all that. So wherever your Capricorn sign sits, that's where you can expect some sort of clarity. Now, Capricorn is all about your reputation, your visibility, how you come across, your career path, your profession, business, job, whatever that might be. So there can be some sort of clarity around that as well in the month of June. Now, on the 29th of June, Mercury goes retrograde in the sign of Cancer. Now, on the 1st of June, Mercury moved in the sign of Cancer. On the 29th of June, it will turn retrograde. Now, when a planet turns retrograde, our energy turns inward. So it's not much about external processing. It becomes more about internal processing. So this can mean, old conversations, especially emotional conversations, return, or we are reviewing them, analyzing them, maybe also overthinking those conversations during this time. Now, this can lead to miscommunication as well. Also, technology, especially the ones we use to communicate, can be affected as well during this time, which can lead to misunderstanding and miscommunication. So the 3 weeks starting 29th of June, when Mercury is in a retrograde motion, you just need to be more mindful and more intentional about what you're communicating and how you're communicating. And also just be mindful of past energy returning during this time, either for resolution or for some sort of analysis or reviewing or reassessing during this time. But do take your time. Don't rush your decision during the Mercury retrograde phase. Let the 3 weeks pass after 29th of June, and then you can finally make your decisions, because mental energy during the retrograde can be very overwhelming and unclear. Now, on the last day of the month of June, that is on the 30th of June, Jupiter enters the sign of Leo. So if you have planets in the sign of Leo, or your angles, or your Leo rising, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, this Jupiter is going to bring abundance, luck, happiness, growth, joy, enthusiasm, confidence to wherever Leo sign sits in your chart. So it's really great energy, because Leo is ruled by the sun. So it's really a happy energy ending the month of June as Jupiter enters the sign of Leo for the next 1 year. Now, these are the transits in the month of June 2026. Now, I will go through all the 12 zodiac signs and will cover each of these transits and how it affects each of the zodiac signs. So let's begin. Hello Aries, welcome to your June 2026 monthly astrology reading. Now, Aries, the month of June 2026 is a very powerful time for you because there is powerful shifts occurring where your home, family, foundation, your emotional self, your emotional world, your outward self as well, external life, your status, your professional matters, ambition, all that is concerned. This month, your identity, your sense of self-worth, how you communicate, how you come across, how you express yourself, all that is activated. Now, Aries, the month of June 2026 begins with Mercury entering the sign of Cancer, which is your fourth house. Now, with fourth house being activated, the focus turns inward. So the focus is on your home matters, your family matters, your emotional security, your foundation, your inner world, your private life, your living situation, your environment, and all that. So there can be conversations with family members or about living situations or domestic matters and all that. So here there's a lot of focus on your private emotional world. There's a lot of inner processing happening. Now, Mercury will turn retrograde this month on the 29th of June. So then there can be some sort of review or reassessing the decisions that you made in the month of June 2026. Now, Venus and Jupiter makes a conjunction in the sign of Cancer in your fourth house. Now, this is a very strong conjunction, very beneficial, very positive conjunction. Venus and Jupiter both are benefic energies, so it brings blessings, and all this is happening in your fourth house. Now, Mercury is already in your fourth house. Venus and Jupiter together brings a lot of healing energy where family dynamics are concerned. You feel emotionally supported during this time, Aries. Here you may be doing some home improvements, maybe you're thinking about relocating, or you could be nesting during this time. There's a lot of emotional abundance, a lot of forgiveness as well around your family matters. So this is definitely a heart healing kind of energy, Venus and Jupiter together, because Jupiter is amplifying the Venusian energy, which is very affection based, likability based. It's about desires and what you love, what you appreciate, what you value, and all this is happening in fourth house. So there's a lot of heart healing energy here where your foundation is concerned, where your family and home matters are concerned. Now, Mercury will square Saturn. Now, Mercury is in sign of Cancer and Saturn is in your sign in Aries. So your fourth house and first house energies are at square during this time. Now, this can feel mentally very heavy because Saturn energy can feel restrictive, can feel heavy, can feel sort of a mental pressure during this time. So this can mean there are responsibility, obligations around home life, around family matters and all that. And here there can be some sort of serious discussion about living situations or around emotional boundaries during this time. So you may feel mentally restricted or emotionally blocked during this time. So it's important to be mindful of what you are communicating and how you're communicating, because here you may question the support system, you may question the longevity of it as well. Now, on the 13th of June, Venus enters the sign of Leo, which is your fifth house, Aries. So here, this is a beautiful shift, absolutely lovely, because fifth house is all about pleasure. It's about creativity, self-expression. It's about passion. It's about your inner child healing, and also children if you have any. So Venus entering the sign of Leo, and now Leo is a fixed fire sign. It's all about grand gestures of affection. So with Venus in Leo, it's all about grand gestures of affection. So this will mean romance becomes bold, becomes expressive, becomes magnetic. Your creativity becomes strong. It is flowing easily. You want to express yourself during this time. This is not the time of emotional heaviness. You want pleasure, you want amusement, you want joy during this time. You may also connect with children or your inner child. This is a great time to heal your inner child as well. Now, definitely you want to follow your heart with this Venus in your fifth house. So here, this energy also brings a lot of likability. You want to play, you want to have fun during this time, Aries. And if you have children, you want to connect with them more and have fun with your children during this time. Now, on the 15th of June, there's a new moon in the sign of Gemini. this is occurring in your third house. So this can mean a new beginning or fresh start where communication or learning is concerned, because third house is a house of communication, connections, networking, learning, short trips, your environment, your local environment, your community, and all that. So here there can be some sort of new beginning where how you communicate is concerned. Maybe you're learning something new, maybe you are taking short trips. There can be a lot of new ideas or mental redirection during this time, or opportunity for fresh start where your mindset is concerned, how you think and what you think. So definitely this is an opportunity for a new mental chapter to begin. Also your voice, your thought process, your information sharing, what you're communicating. There's an opportunity for reset here as well. Now, on the 19th of June, one of the major transit of 2026 is occurring, which is Chiron is changing sign. Now, since 2019, Chiron has been moving through your sign Aries, through your first house. Now, on the 19th of June, it's going to leave Aries and enter the sign of Taurus, which is your second house. So since 2019, you have been healing the wounding around your identity, around your sense of self, around your confidence, how you see yourself, how you project yourself, and all that. Now, going forward from June 2026, the focus shifts from self to your worth, your sense of self-worth, how you see yourself, your value, and also your money matters, your money patterns, your stability, your survival, security, and all that. So any old wound or fear or insecurity around sense of self-worth, around resources, money matters will surface, and all this needs to be healed going forward, Aries. So definitely this is going to restructure your entire value system going forward. Now, it is a long-term transit, so this is not a quick fix. You have to work on your self-worth, your self-esteem, and you will see positive result by the end of this transit. Now, Cancer season begins on the 21st of June as Sun enters the sign of Cancer, which is your fourth house. So here there's a focus back on your emotional world, your home and family matters, your living situation. There's a strong focus on emotional safety, your privacy, on rest, on retreat, all that. So you're turning inward during this time with the Sun being in your fourth house. Now, on the 28th of June, Mars enters the sign of Gemini. So most of the month of June, Mars is still moving through the sign of Taurus, but on the 28th of June, it enters your third house. Now, Mars in third house, which is a house of mental activity, communication, connection, information sharing, learning, and all that. So this means mental acceleration. So this can lead to fast thinking, busy schedule, quick decision. It can also lead to verbal confrontation, can lead to conflict due to the way you communicate, because there's a lot of energy. Mars is energy. It's action, it's drive, it's also aggression. In the third house of communication, the verbal, there can be a lot of arguments, there can be a lot of impatience where conversations are concerned. There can be a lot of mental overstimulation as well during this time. So your mind becomes sharp and so does your tongue. So just be cautious of that energy here, Aries. Now, on the 29th of June, there's a full moon in the sign of Capricorn, which is your 10th house. So here there is some sort of turning point where your career matters are concerned, where your professional matters are concerned, where your life direction is concerned, where do you want to go, what do you want to do going forward. So definitely there's some sort of ending or recognition or realization or awareness around 10th house matters. And so this will affect your decisions around ambition, goals, your reputation, your visibility, responsibilities, and all that. So here definitely your external world is reaching a turning point. Now, on the 29th of June, Mercury turns retrograde in the sign of Cancer in your fourth house. So here past issues or past family issues can resurface. Decisions will slow down. There's a need for revision and review during this time. So any decision that you make during this time, you need to really think over it. Don't make any quick decision. Don't rush into anything that you're not comfortable with. Take your time, review, and analyze what you want to do. Don't sign a contract during this time, especially if you are moving house, or if you want to sign a contract, do read through the fine prints definitely before you change your living arrangements and all that. So definitely Mercury retrograde in your fourth house is a deep emotional review cycle so that you can have some forward movement. So overall, Aries, the month of June 2026, there is major focus on your inner life, your home, family, emotional roots, inner healing, and all that. And also, there will be some sort of culmination or realization where your responsibilities, your obligations, your visibility, your reputation, public image, career, goals, and all that are concerned. So, definitely, this is a deeply emotional time, also opportunity for healing, career direction. Your career may demand attention during this time. You're very much mentally busy during this time. Your mind is sharp, your speech is sharp, you are making quick decisions during this time. A lot of opportunity for creativity, self-expression as well. So definitely this month there is an opportunity for emotional review and also an opportunity for healing and emotional grounding. Aries, thank you. Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your June 2026 monthly astrology reading. Now, Taurus, the month of June 2026 is a very busy month for you. It's mentally busy, emotionally revealing month for you. This month, there will be some sort of identity reset, definitely. Obviously, this month, your communication, your values, your foundation, your sense of self, your belief system, your subconscious self, all that are activated this month. So, Taurus, the month of June begins with Mercury entering the sign of Cancer on the 1st of June, which is your third house, Taurus. So, here, right from the beginning, Mercury is activating your mind. So, your mind becomes highly active. There's an increase in conversations, also short trips. There's a lot of movement this month. Now, third house is also the house of learning. So you could be learning something new. There's a lot of ideas flow happening during this month for you. A lot of information sharing, a lot of communication, a lot of back and forth during this time. So you could be writing as well, or you could be networking, communicating, really very much a community feel this month for you, Taurus. Third house is a house of your close environment, your neighbors, siblings, relatives, all that. There's a lot of receptivity, mental receptivity this month. So you're really engaging, networking a lot right from the 1st of June. Now, Taurus, the first 2 weeks of the month of June, Venus and Jupiter are making conjunction. So it starts strongly straight from the 1st, 2nd June, and this energy is strong until mid June. So Venus and Jupiter together in the sign of Cancer, it's a very beneficial, very harmonious energy. It brings blessings. It's a very supportive transit. All this is happening in your third house, Taurus. So this means there's a lot of positive conversations and a lot of reconnections as well during this time, because Venus is about connection, it's about socializing, and Jupiter amplifies it. And all this happening in the third house of communication, there's a lot of social activity happening, a lot of networking and all that. Now, Mercury is already in the sign of Cancer, so all this amplifies. Jupiter amplifies the Venusian and Mercurial energy in your third house. So there's a lot of likability, a lot of opportunities to expand, connect with people. This can also mean creative writing or learning something new, or information that you're sharing is flowing easily and smoothly during this time. Also, your speech will improve because third house is the house of your communication, how you communicate. Venus brings likability. So here your communication definitely improves. There can be some sort of good news during this time, or some sort of information that travels which is positive as well during this time. This is also a good time where your voice can become very influential, Taurus. So here definitely people appreciate or want to listen to what you're saying as well. Now, in the month of June, Mercury will be squaring Saturn, and it's very strong around 5th of June to about 15th of June. So those 10 days, Mercury and Saturn will be squaring. Now, Mercury is in the sign of Cancer and Saturn is in the sign of Aries. So that is your third house and your 12th house energy at a square. Now, square is The square brings growth through tension. So here this aspect can feel mentally heavy or even isolating, because 12th house is this isolating energy. When Saturn moves through your 12th house, you can feel isolated. So Mercury, so here there can be a lot of overthinking, anxiety as well. There can be hidden fears that may affect communication. Now, obviously, Jupiter will bring this beneficial energy to your third house matter. But with the square aspect with Saturn, Mercury, which is your mind, and your communication will get affected. So there can be anxiety around your decision making, around, around expressing yourself, how you feel, what you feel. There can be some sort of mental pressure that needs to be released as well during this time. So do slow down your thinking patterns, how you're thinking, also your decision making, and also how you're communicating. So you need to slow down and not rush your decision or your communication or the information that you're sharing during this time. So do analyze what you are communicating, Taurus. Now, on the 13th of June, Venus enters the sign of Leo, which is your fourth house. Now, fourth house is the house of home and family matters and your emotional foundation. So this is a happy emotional transit. Venus in the fourth house is very much focused on home, family, and comfort. There's a desire to improve your living space during this time because your home is your sanctuary during this time. You want to express. Leo is all about expression, creative expression. So you want to express through your home, through your emotional connection, through your family during this time. There can be a lot of increase in sensitivity, emotional self connection, support, and all that. So you will be craving a lot of emotional warmth and stability with Venus in your fourth house. Now, there is a new moon occurring on the 15th of June in the sign of Gemini, which is your second house, Taurus. So this can mean new beginning where financial matters are concerned. This is new income opportunities. You could be budgeting during this time, making financial plans during this time. Your new values are forming around money and self-worth. So definitely this is a good time also to learn something new or learn new ways of making money during this time. This will definitely bring some sort of reset where your confidence, your sense of self-worth, and financial matters are concerned. Now, Taurus, on the 19th of June, Chiron will be moving in your sign. So it is leaving the sign of Aries, where it was since 2019. Now, the next 8 years, Chiron will be in your sign, affecting your first house. Now, this is a very crucial transit of 2026 because it's a long-term transit. And it is very important for you because it's moving in your sign. So until 2034, there's a major theme around identity, healing your identity, how you see yourself, how you project yourself, your body image, your self-perception, your confidence level, how you see yourself. There's an opportunity to reinvent yourself as well, Taurus. Now, this long cycle begins in the month of June. So definitely there is an opportunity over the next 8 years for deep personal healing and really redefining yourself and healing the old version of yourself that doesn't fit going forward. Now, on the 21st of June, Cancer season begins, which is Sun moving in the sign of Cancer, which is your third house. So again, there's a mental and emotional focus on conversations, on communication, networking, learning, thinking, reflecting, information sharing, sharing your feelings as well. So here definitely there's a lot of communication happening, a lot of networking, socializing, a lot of curiosity as well. Now on the 28th of June, Mars enters the sign of Gemini, which is your second house, Taurus. So the energy shifts towards your money matters, your sense of self-worth, your stability, how you sustain yourself and all that. Here there's a drive towards money making, or there can also be some sort of anxiety as well around money making or your financial situation as well. So here you may take fast-paced financial decisions. There can be potential for impulsivity as well, where spending is concerned or making money is concerned. So you want something quick and fast with Mars in your second house. Now, obviously, just be mindful of securing your resources as well. Don't just spend it all, whatever you earn during this time, and don't take any impulsive risk during this time, because Mars in the second house can mean impulsive money moves, which can be risky. So do be cautious and don't take quick decisions. Think over it before you make any moves. Now, on the 29th of June, Taurus, there's a full moon in the sign of Capricorn affecting your ninth house. This is a major culmination around your belief system, around your consciousness, high consciousness, wisdom, your perspective, your viewpoint, and all that. So this can mean some sort of shift or ending or realization or awareness where your worldview is concerned. Now, this can also bring some sort of truth around your belief system, around your life direction, how you see things and all that. This can also mean traveling or some sort of education is coming to an end as well during this time. So definitely with full moon in the ninth house, this definitely brings some sort of culmination around ninth house matter. Now, on the 29th of June, Mercury turns retrograde in the sign of Cancer. So again, your third house is in focus here. Mercury turning retrograde in the third house can mean miscommunication, can mean misunderstanding. How you're communicating can be misunderstood. There can be delayed messages, or there can be traveling or movement issues as well during this time. You could be reconnecting with people from your past during this time. There can be some sort of revision around decisions or contracts and all that. So just be mindful of not rushing your decision during this time, especially when Mercury is in a retrograde motion, because there can be some sort of mental fog when Mercury is retrograde. So this is a time to reanalyze, review, and not make any decisions, quick decisions. Or even if you have to make it, take your time as you review it. And all this is important for forward movement. So overall, Taurus, the month of June 2026 is all about mental activation, is focused on your communication, how you communicate, how you think, how you learn, and all that. The focus is also on your stability, your money matters, your self-worth. All this goes through a reset. And there is a long-term cycle around your identity begins this month. So this is a long-term healing cycle around your self-image and confidence, Taurus. Thank you. Hello, Geminis. Welcome to your June 2026 monthly astrology reading. Now, Geminis, the month of June 2026 is a big personal reset month for you. And it starts with emotional grounding around money matters and sense of self-worth. Now, this month, you're starting a new identity cycle. How you project yourself, how you present yourself, how you perceive yourself is changing or being redefined from inside out going forward. Now, Uranus moved in your sign in the month of April, and that is a long-term transit. So already you must be feeling a sort of reinvention, a reset, a sort of breakdown in order to experience the breakthroughs going forward. So this month, June 2026, definitely is a time where you feel that you're quietly redefining yourself. Now, the month of June begins with Mercury entering the sign of Cancer on the 1st of June, which is your second house. Now, second house is the house of money matters. It's the house of your worth, your value, your how you see yourself, how you sustain yourself, your stability, your talents, and all that. And Mercury is the mind, how you think, the logical side. So here the attention shifts straight to money matters, your income, financial planning, self-worth, confidence, what you value, and how you earn it. So your mind becomes practical and emotionally tied to stability and security during this time. So definitely second house energy is at the forefront for you in the month of June. Now, Venus and Jupiter forms a conjunction in the sign of Cancer this month as well. Now, Jupiter has been moving through the sign of Cancer since last year, and Venus is joining Jupiter, and all this is happening in your second house again. So Jupiter here amplifies the Venusian energy, and also Mercury is there, so it will also amplify the Mercurial energy. So this is a very beneficial aspect. this is a very beneficial and very supportive time where your finances are concerned, Gemini. This can be a blessing depending on how you manage it. So here there can be increased potential and opportunities around resources, stability, money matters, financial matters, and all that. So here there can be some sort of financial help or some sort of good timing around money can occur. Now, obviously, again, Jupiter amplifies wherever it goes, so there can be overconfidence as well. So just be cautious of overindulgence, because Jupiter and Venus together can mean overindulgence. You may overspend during this time, which you may regret later on. So it's important to be very cautious of what you're spending. This is a time for budgeting and some sort of financial planning, definitely. There's also a stronger sense of self-worth during this time. You feel good about yourself because your finances are improving, because you're able to stabilize yourself more. So definitely there can be some sort of emotional reassurance through stability. Now, this together in the month of June, especially the first 2 weeks of the month of June, there can be tendency to spend a lot, especially the first 2 weeks of the month of June. There will be an abundance energy. So here you're grounding your material world, how you sustain yourself, how you secure yourself. All that is very much at the forefront in the first 2 weeks of the month of June. So from 1st of June all the way till the 17th of June, this energy is very strong. Now, Gemini's Mercury will be squaring Saturn this month as well. So Mercury is in the sign of Cancer, which is your second house, and Saturn is in the sign of Aries, which is your 11th house. So your second house and 11th house energies are clashing during this time. So there's a tension between these two energies. Even though Jupiter is there and really brings blessings where your financial matters are concerned, Saturn in the 11th house can play a spoil sport here. So you need to be very careful regarding your money matters and your long-term goals. So there can be pressure around your finances, your goals, your aspirations. You may feel restricted or social support is concerned. So here you may be making some serious decision about resources or commitment around finances, or any responsibility or obligations around finances. You may be making some sort of serious decision during this time. Now, this really brings a reality check around your money matter. Saturn squaring the second house planets is definitely a reality check where your stability, resources, how you sustain yourself, your savings, your finances, abundance, all that is concerned. So just be cautious of your finances, especially in the first 2 weeks of the month of June. Now, on the 13th of June, Venus enters the sign of Leo, which is your third house. Now, this will make you very expressive. Your voice becomes very expressive, very likable as well. People appreciate what you have to say. The communication becomes easier. You are more charming where your communication is concerned. Also, third house is a house of writing, speaking, learning, teaching. So Venus can bring creativity in these areas. So you could be doing creative writing or expressing yourself, on social media, content creation, and all that is also definitely possible. Or just expressing yourself in a charming way, expressing yourself in a likable way, in a passionate way, in a creative way. So Venus here will definitely bring positive interaction where your environment is concerned, your relatives, siblings, your community, and all that is concerned. Venus can bring positive energy in terms of interacting with others. Now, this will also increase your curiosity and increase your mental playfulness as well. So definitely Venus in your third house, you will be speaking with warmth, with confidence, and with a sort of flair, because Leo is all about the show. It's about visibility. So you're speaking confidently during this time. Now, on the 15th of June, there's a new moon in your sign, in your first house. So this is very important personal reset for you. So there's an opportunity for new beginnings, fresh start, where your identity is concerned, your sense of self is concerned, how you project yourself, how you present yourself, your personal goals, your appearance, your confidence, your life path, all that is concerned. There's an opportunity for some sort of fresh start here. So you could be reinventing how you show up in the world, You may have a fresh emotional or mental self-concept. So how you see yourself may be changing both on emotional and mental level. This is a sort of an opportunity for personal rebirth. Now, on the 19th of June, one of the crucial transits of 2026 is occurring, which is Chiron is entering the sign of Taurus. So it's leaving the sign of Aries and entering the sign of Taurus. Now, Taurus is your 12th house, Gemini. So for the next 8 years until 2034, Chiron will be moving through your 12th house. Now, this means deep emotional and subconscious healing. So this will bring your old fears, your hidden anxiety, hidden struggles. All this will come to the surface for you to see. This is not a sort of resurface where it's visible to the rest of the world. It's only visible to you, to your own subconscious. So anything that was unconscious becomes conscious during this time. So old fears, hidden anxieties, all that, you become more aware of this during this time. There's an awareness, an opportunity to heal this. Now, it is a long-term transit, so this is a slow healing process. It's not instant, but definitely this gives an opportunity for deep psychological healing. This is the time you release past patterns, unconscious blocks. This is a quiet but powerful inner healing behind the scene energy, Geminis. Now, on the 21st of June, Cancer season begins, meaning Sun enters the sign of Cancer, which is your second house. So again, the focus returns to your money, stability, emotional security, how you see yourself, your self-worth, finances, how you sustain yourself and all that, your talents and all that. So here you're building self-worth through tangible results. So you're definitely building up a more secure sense of self and a stable foundation for yourself going forward. Now, on the 28th of June, Mars enters your sign in the sign of Gemini, so first house. Now, most of the month of June, Mars is in your 12th house in the sign of Taurus. So most of the month of June until 28th of June, it can feel mentally repressing. You may be suppressing your energy, your anger, your drive, action taking and all that, maybe all behind the scene. You may not be taking much action most of the month of June, but on the 28th of June, it enters your sign, your first house. This is a huge energy shift. This means increased drive, more confidence, more assertiveness, more visibility, more motivation. So there's a strong desire to act on personal goals during this time. There can be possible impatience or restlessness as well, because there's a massive power surge all happening in your first house, which is a house of self, your identity, your personal goals, your life path, how you project yourself, how you present yourself, how you show up in the world. So Mars definitely brings this massive confidence, drive, and assertiveness to your sense of self from 28th of June. Now, on the 29th of June, there's a full moon occurring in the sign of Capricorn. This is in your 8th house. Capricorn is your 8th house. Now, 8th house is a house of shared resources, finances, debt, investments, and all that. So there's an emotional intensity around these matters. Now, full moon brings culmination, ending, realization, awareness. So all this is happening in your 8th house. So there can be some sort of intensity around emotional entanglements or financial entanglements. There can be some sort of ending as well in these matters. There can be a lot of you may experience a lot of emotional vulnerability during this time. This is a time for deep psychological release or some sort of closure where shared finances or other people's finances, social finances, all that are concerned, Geminis. So definitely something hidden becomes very clear and needs to be resolved during this time. Now, on the 29th of June, Mercury turns retrograde in the sign of Cancer. So this means the focus is on the second house matter, which is your finances, your money matter, your self-worth, and all that. All this is in your review mode. So you're rethinking about these matters during this time. You're re-evaluating your income streams. If there are any delays in payments or financial decisions, you need to look into those matters as well during this time. You may be reassessing what you truly value during this time, old financial themes or old financial matters, energies may return as well during this time, and you need to look into these matters. So that's why it's important to be very cautious of your spending and all that, because as Mercury turns retrograde, you may have to deal with the repercussions of mismanagement of finances in the first half of June. So as Mercury turns retrograde in your second house, this is a time for financial recalibration for you, Geminis. So overall, Geminis, in the month of June 2026, there is an opportunity for financial rebuilding. Your income, stability, self-worth, and your foundation are all in focus during this time. There's also an opportunity for identity reset. So you are stepping into a new version of yourself from mid-June to the end of June, and definitely a new cycle, a long-term cycle of inner healing begins. There's an opportunity to resolve your fears, subconscious patterns, past anxieties, and all that. And this is not a quick process, it's a slow healing process because it's an 8-year transit, but you start that journey in the month of June 2026, Geminis. Thank you. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your June 2026 monthly astrology reading. Now, Cancer, the month of June 2026 is a huge turning point month for you, where your identity, your goals, your direction, your visibility. This is the month where you will experience new confidence, new beginnings. A new version of yourself will be seen by others during this month. On the 1st of June, Mercury enters your sign, Cancer. So straight from day one, your first house is activated. Now, with Mercury in your first house, you become more self-aware. There's a strong reflection on identity and personal direction during this time. You are thinking about how to present yourself. There is heightened intuition and sensitivity because Mercury is in a water sign. Now, there will be more awareness of your emotional state as well during this time. So, your mental focus is on who you are, how you show up, what you're doing, what your personal goals are, and where you're heading. So, that's the major energy for the month of June 2026 for you, Cancer. Now, Venus and Jupiter will be conjuncting in your sign again. So, again, you are at the forefront this month, definitely. So, first 2 weeks of the month of June, Venus meets Jupiter in the sign of Cancer. Now, Jupiter has been moving through the sign of Cancer since mid last year, and in the month of June, it will conjunct Venus. So, Jupiter will be amplifying this Venusian energy. Now, Mercury is already in the sign of Cancer as well. So, Jupiter is amplifying both the Venusian energy and the Mercurial energy, all focused in your first house. So this is very important, and it is a very benefic conjunction as well, because Jupiter is wisdom, it's growth, it's luck, it's optimism, it's generosity, and all this applies to your sense of self since last year, and in the month of June is applying to your attractiveness, your confidence, your self-image, your identity, and all that. So this is a time for emotional renewal, self-acceptance. You feel supported by life during this time. There are new opportunities coming because of you, not external chasing. So you are creating your own opportunities, Cancer, going forward. This is a time of personal expansion, visibility, and emotional glow up. Now, definitely people will notice you during this period, Cancer. Now, Mercury will be squaring Saturn in the month of June, and the energy is very strong from the 5th of June to about 15th of June. Now, Mercury is in your sign, in your first house, and Saturn is in the sign of Aries in the 10th house. So your first house, which is yourself, and 10th house, which is your public image, your career, your visibility, your reputation, your business, your job, authority figure, and all that is at a square. So there can be a lot of pressure between your personal needs, your identity, and career responsibility, external responsibility, responsibility around your image, your status, your reputation, external expectations, need for validation, and all that. So there's a clash between self-expression, what you truly want to express, and what people expect you to express, basically. So that's where the clash is. So there's a tension between confidence and self-doubt during this time. Now, Saturn in the 10th house can bring self-doubt where your reputation is concerned, where your career matters, your business matter, where you're heading in life is concerned, basically your goals and ambition and all that. With a square aspect from Mercury, this affects your mind. So there can be some sort of restriction or blockages on a mental level, or even communication. There can be blockages around your expression, how you communicate, your voice, and all that. Now, obviously, this can result in maturity, mastery, and really going forward and presenting yourself on a public platform in a more fulfilling and responsible way. Now, on the 13th of June, Venus enters the sign of Leo. This is your second house, Cancer. So the focus shifts from your sense of self to your stability. Second house is money house. It's the house of stability, how you sustain yourself, your resources, your savings, how you make money, your talents, and all that. So here, Venus brings positive energy to your money matters from 13th of June. So your money can improve. There can be more desire for stability, how you sustain yourself, resources, savings, and all that. There's a desire for comfort during this time. Now, second house is also the house of values, your self-worth, and all that. So self-worth becomes very much tied to what you can build or earn during this time. This is also a time for financial creativity. So you could be looking at new ways of generating income, your income stream. Maybe you have multiple income stream, or you're creating new income stream during this time. This is also a time to use your talent to make money, because second house is also the house of talent. So you maybe value your talents and skills more directly during this time, and monetizing it more directly during this time, Cancer. Now, on the 15th of June, there's a new moon in the sign of Gemini, and this is your 12th house. Gemini is your 12th house, Cancer. Now, this is quiet but powerful reset. New moon is about new beginning, fresh start, and all that. Now, 12th house is the house of the subconscious. It's a house of hidden struggles, emotional patterns, anxiety patterns, fear patterns. All that are hidden from view, or hidden from yourself as well. So here, this new moon can bring emotional release or some sort of closure to something that is old, maybe old struggle, old fear, old patterns, your own mental patterns that restricts you, that leads to self-sabotage and all that. 12th house is a house of self-sabotage because it's your own subconscious. It's not somebody else trying to sabotage you. You're sabotaging yourself due to your own limitations. So that's what is changing with this new moon in Gemini in your 12th house. So this is also time for rest and retreating and subconscious healing. So you're definitely, any hidden stress or old cycles may be ending during this time, or there's an opportunity to end during this time, which can lead to healing as well. You will definitely experience some sort of psychological renewal this month with this new moon on the 15th of June. So something behind the scene is being cleared out before your new chapter or next chapter begins, Cancer. Now, on the 19th of June, one of the major transits of the year 2026 starts, which is Chiron entering the sign of Taurus. Now, Chiron was moving through the sign of Aries since 2019, which is your 10th house. Now on 19th of June, it shifts sign from Aries to Taurus, which is your 11th house. So this brings focus to your community, your social circle, your alliances, your friendship circle, your aspirations, hopes and wishes, your future goals and all that. There's an opportunity for deep healing. Now, this is a long-term transit. It's an 8-year cycle. So for the next 8 years, there's an opportunity to heal any kind of restrictions, limitations around community, around friendship circle, around social dynamic, around your sense of belonging, how you fit in, your desire to fit in, or your desire to not fit in, whatever that might be. Also, how you collaborate, your aspirations as well, your long-term hopes, your dreams, your support system, and all that. So with Chiron in the 11th house, you are definitely reassessing who truly feels aligned with your future. Now, this is a long-term transit, so the healing occurs slowly, but by the end of 8-year period, you will have healed your old wounds around your sense of belonging, acceptance, all that. Now, on the 21st of June, Cancer season begins, meaning Sun enters the sign of Cancer, your sign, in your first house. So here again, the focus is on emotional intensity. So here again, the focus shifts back on yourself, on your identity, your sense of self. Your identity becomes stronger, more defined, or there's an opportunity to redefine yourself. You are naturally taking, you want to take up more space during this time. You want to show up the way you want to show up. You want to present yourself, project yourself more strongly during this time. This is definitely a new personal cycle, Cancer. Now, on the 28th of June, Mars enters the sign of Gemini, which is your 12th house. So energy turns inward. Now it's happening on the 28th of June. So the most of June, Mars is still in your 11th house in the sign of Taurus, which is activating your social circle, your group dynamic, your alliances, your friends circle, your aspiration, goals, and all that. But on the 28th of June, all this energy turns inward because 12th house is a house of your subconscious self. So here there's an increased mental activity, but behind the scene. Here there can be hidden stress or restlessness as well, and all these can surface during this time. There may be a need to rest as well during this time because there's so much happening, and old emotional patterns may also be activated during this time. So definitely this is kind of a preparation time for you. This is not a time of outward action. That will happen when Mars enters your sign, Cancer. Now, on the 29th of June, there's a full moon in the sign of Capricorn, which is your opposite sign. So your 7th house energy is activated. Now, this is a major relationship turning point or reset. Now, full moon means awareness, understanding, clarity, culmination around your social interactions, around your commitments, around your business partnership, personal partnership, all that. So partnership comes into focus around 29th of June. There's a clarity where your partnerships are concerned. There may be some sort of decision making. You may be making some sort of decisions around commitment or boundaries during this time. Something reaches culmination or truth is revealed where relationship matters are concerned. And this can mean you are redefining an existing relationship or ending an existing relationship. Now, on the 29th of June, Mercury turns retrograde. And this is in your house, in your first house, in the sign of Cancer. So this means your identity or your how you see yourself intensifies during this time because you're turning inward. Your mindset, your mental activity is turning inward. You are reviewing, rethinking your decisions around your life direction, your life path, your sense of self, your appearance, and all that. You may be reviewing a past version of yourself as well. Now, this can also lead to miscommunication, misunderstandings as well in the way you express yourself. So just be mindful of that. But definitely, it's a time for personal reset. So overall, Cancer, the month of June 2026, there's a focus on identity, your personal self, your visibility, your appearance, your personal glow up. There's also an opportunity for subconscious clearing during this time. Old patterns, fears, shame, guilt, anxiety, trauma, whatever that is, there's an opportunity to really clear those. Obviously, the cycle begins, it's an 8-year cycle, so it begins in June. So next 8 years, there's an opportunity for an inner reset. And also there's a focus on relationship during this time, during the month of June. There will be some sort of clarity where partnership is concerned, Cancer. Thank you. Hello, Leos. Welcome to your June 2026 monthly astrology reading. Now, Leos, the month of June 2026 is a quietly powerful month for you because this month there is an opportunity for inner release, spiritual clearing, subconscious clearing, and a lot of behind the scenes preparation because your 12th house is activated this month. So here, before your energy fully emerges from the second half of the month of June, there's an opportunity for clearing, emotional clearing, subconscious clearing, just clearing any negative patterns, self-sabotaging patterns, Leos. So here the focus is a lot on on your inner world, especially the first half of the month of June. Now, the month of June begins with Mercury entering the sign of Cancer, which is your 12th house, Leos. So, right from the start, your 12th house is activated, which is the house of your subconscious self. So, here your mind, which is Mercury, turns inward, means it turns in a reflective mode, in an introspective mode. It's more, it's not an outward expression, it's more inner expression of Mercury. So here you may want to withdraw, you may enjoy solitude, you may want to retreat during this time, and all this is really beneficial as well for you, Leos. Now, Mercury will be turning retrograde later on in the month, so the month of June and even the month of July, half of July, is with Mercury in your 12th house. So here dreams can become more vivid, more meaningful. Your thoughts, your private thoughts and memories can surface during this time. There may be less desire for you of external noise or external validation during this time. This is definitely a more inner space kind of energy. Your private space, your inner healing, and all that is definitely in focus during this time. Now, Venus will be joining Jupiter in the sign of Cancer in your 12th house in the month of June. So from the start of the June till mid-June, Venus is making close contact with Jupiter. Now, Jupiter has been moving through the sign of Cancer since mid last year. And in the month of June, it meets Venus and Mercury, which is already in the sign of Cancer. So Jupiter will be amplifying this Venusian energy, this Mercurial energy. Now, this means deep healing energy because Jupiter and Venus both are benefics. So, together they bring blessings. So, here there is an opportunity for emotional release of old pain, forgiveness of self and others. Here, there's a lot of spiritual support and quiet protection. This Jupiter in 12th house is divine protection. So, there's a lot of quiet protection, behind the scene protection, hidden blessings, all behind the scene, or support behind the scene for you, Leos. This is a very healing transit. Now, during this month, you will be clearing something emotionally so that you can move forward. So, you're releasing something that has been holding you back, Leos, and you're moving forward. Now, Mercury will be squaring Saturn in the first 2 weeks of the month of June as well, especially from the 5th of June to 15th of June, the energy is very strong. Now, Mercury is in the sign of Cancer, which is your 12th house, and Saturn is in the sign of Aries, which is your 9th house. So your 12th house and 9th house energies are clashing during this time. So there can be a lot of mental tension between your belief system, your viewpoint, your perception, and your subconscious fear, your hidden struggles, and all that. This can cause some sort of tension between your faith and, doubts, your anxiety, your fears, and all that. Now, there can be a lot of overthinking as well during this time, especially around direction in life, where you want to go, what you want to do going forward. So you may be questioning a lot within yourself, what you believe, your faith, your perception, viewpoints, and all that. Now, on the 13th of June, Venus enters the sign of Leo, which is your sign. So this is a really good energy, Venus entering your sign. Because towards the end of the month and beginning of July, Jupiter will be moving in your sign as well. So here, definitely there is major focus on yourself. This is a major shift, a major glow up moment for you, Leos, especially if you're Leo rising, Venus in your first house, activating your ascendant. There can be increased attractiveness, increased visibility, confidence returns. You feel more expressive, more magnetic, more noticed during this time. This is a viral moment for you, Leos. You may go viral for yourself, how you express yourself, your personal style. This is a time of identity shift. You are starting to come back into yourself. You're showing up for yourself and all that, and in a very positive, likable, beautiful way, Leos. Now, on the 15th of June, there is a new moon in the sign of Gemini. So this means fresh start, where friendships, networks, social groups, communities, all that are concerned. So the focus is on long-term goals and visions and all that, because your 11th house energy is activated. So there's a new beginning in your 11th house matter. So this means future planning, aspirations, new chapters in your future direction may open during this time. Now, on the 19th of June, one of the crucial transits of 2026 begins, which is Chiron entering the sign of Taurus. Now, since 2019, Chiron has been moving through the sign of Aries, which is your ninth house. In June 2026, and for the next 8 years, Chiron will be moving through your 10th house in the sign of Taurus. Now this is a long-term transit. So this is a long-term healing transit. Here your career identity will shift. There is an opportunity to heal your how you project yourself, your reputation, your aspiration, career matters and all that. If any wounds around how you are perceived, how you project yourself, your reputation, your career matters will surface during this time, and it needs to be healed going forward. So you're healing wounds around success or fear of success or fear of recognition or fear of authority during these 8-year period. So there may be some pressure around what you are building on a public platform, Leos, and that's what you are redefining, and that's what you're healing during these 8 years. Now, on the 21st of June, Cancer season begins. So the focus is back in your 12th house as Sun enters your 12th house. Now, obviously, energy, the Sun's energy, the core energy, goes deeper, becomes more subconscious during this time. This can lead to emotional withdrawal, need for solitude. You may need more rest during this time, or a lot of behind the scene activities. There may be a lot of preparation during this time. So obviously, following the Cancer season begins your season. So this is a preparation time. When Leo season begins, you are definitely at the forefront. So this is the time of inner processing. You're ending or closing old cycles. You're becoming stronger and more centered going forward. Now, on the 28th of June, Mars enters the sign of Gemini, which is your 11th house. Now, Mars brings action and energy and drive wherever it goes. And in your 11th house, which is the house of your social circle, community, your aspiration, your future goal, your support system, your alliances and all that, this means a lot of social activity, networking, group involvement increases during this time. There's a lot of motivation towards future goals as well, your aspiration, your hopes and wishes and all that. Now, Mars brings energy and drive and passion, but it can also bring aggression. So there can be possible conflicts or intensity where your social dynamic, your friendship circle are concerned. So it's important to be cautious of this energy because it can bring a lot of motivation, but also on the flip side can bring conflict. Now, on the 29th of June, there's a full moon in the sign of Capricorn, which is your 6th house, Leos. So full moon brings culmination, ending, awareness, clarity. So in your 6th house, this can bring some sort of culmination around your work, routines, your responsibilities, your health matters, your stress level, there may be a burnout awareness, health awareness during this time. You may restructure your daily life during this time, your lifestyle. There may be a completion to a work-related cycle as well, or you may be leaving a job or joining a new work environment, or work conditions are changing, work environment, colleagues are leaving or joining. Some sort of changes will occur in your daily reality. So here definitely you will gain some sort of clarity around your daily life, your practical daily life. Now, on the 29th of June, Mercury turns retrograde in the sign of Cancer, which is your 12th house. So Mercury turning retrograde in the 12th house can mean past emotions resurface or return. Your subconscious patterns may intensify during this time. There may be some sort of mental anxiety around your patterns, subconscious patterns, fears and all that. So here there's a need to ground yourself and review your feelings and your thought patterns and all that. Definitely a great time to rest and retreat and reflect during this time. This is not a time of action taking, it's more about internal processing during this time, Leos. So, overall, Leos, in the month of June 2026, there's a major focus on inner clearing, healing yourself, and retreating and resting, definitely with the 12th house energy. And also, as Venus enters your sign in the sign of Leo and with the Gemini new moon, your confidence will return. You will reconnect socially. Your future goals are also forming this month. Now, this month, you're also restructuring your daily life, your work matters, your health matters. You're basically reviewing your whole life this month, your inner self, your identity, your appearance, your health, your work, your job, and releasing anything that is sabotaging you or holding you back, Leos. Thank you. Hello, Virgos. Welcome to your June 2026 monthly astrology reading. Now, Virgos, the month of June 2026 is the month of a lot of social activity. There can be some sort of emotional pressure around friendship or social dynamic. There can be also a shift in your long-term goals and direction this month. So you're definitely reorganizing your inner world and what sort of future you truly want. That's what you're kind of deciding or becoming aware of this month. Now, the month of June begins with Mercury entering the sign of Cancer, which is your 11th house. So there's a lot of focus in your 11th house in the month of June 2026. So Mercury enters your 11th house, so your mind turns towards your friends, your network, community, your future goals and ambitions. There's a lot of social planning, social activity, networking, collaboration, and all that. A lot of group activities, group projects, group conversations, and all that. Your mind is definitely focused on your future during this month. So lots of activity around 11th house matter. Now, Venus will be joining Jupiter in the sign of Cancer this month. There will be a conjunction between these two planets in your 11th house. So this will be very strong in the first 2 weeks of the month of June. Now, Venus and Jupiter both are benefic energy. They are very beneficial. They bring blessings, growth, optimism, and all that. And all this occurring in your 11th house. So there's a lot of luck and growth through your support system, through your collaboration, through your friends and all that. So you will feel very supportive or very supported by your friends the first 2 weeks of June. You may be forming new friendships during this time or strengthening existing ones. There can be helpful people entering your life during this time. Lots of dreams and long-term goals during this time are definitely in focus. So your hopes and wishes, what you want going forward, is in focus. Now, you may feel more connected or supported socially as well, meaning lots of like-minded people, lucky energy enters your life, which leads to future expansion. Now, Mercury will be squaring Saturn as well this month, and the energy is very strong from the 5th of June to the 15th of June. So, 10 days, Mercury in the sign of Cancer in your 11th house is squaring Saturn in the sign of Aries in your 8th house. So 11th house and 8th house energies are at a square. This brings seriousness or tension around friends or emotional financial entanglement. So your social dynamic and your emotional dynamic, there's a clash between these two energies. There can be some sort of trust issues in groups or collaboration or friends during this time as well. Also, your shared resources, money, social finances, spousal finances, and all that. There's a need for some sort of boundary during this time as well in these areas. So with this Mercury squaring Saturn, which can feel very restrictive, mentally restrictive during this time, what you're asking is what brings you stability, what makes you feel safe and secure during this time. Now, on the 13th of June, Venus enters the sign of Leo, Virgos, which is your 12th house. Now, Venus in the sign of Leo is a very flamboyant energy. It's a very expressive, very creative energy. But all this is happening in your 12th house, which is a more quieter, more emotional, house. It's the house of your subconscious. It's the house of your patterns, your emotional patterns, your subconscious patterns, past patterns, and all that. So here with Venus in your 12th house, there's a need for solitude or retreat during this time. Also, there may be hidden feelings around love and desire that may surface during this time. You may be healing old emotional patterns as well. Your emotional processing becomes very important during this time. So, love becomes more reflective, desires become more internal, and these are all happening behind the scenes. So, it's not happening in the external world, it's more happening on the subconscious level, Virgos. Now, on the 15th of June, there's a new moon occurring in the sign of Gemini, which is your 10th house. So, it's the house of your visibility, professional life, business matters, careers, reputation, status, public image, and all that. So, this will bring some sort of new beginning in your professional matters. So, this can mean new career direction or new opportunities or fresh start where visibility or reputation is concerned. Virgos, here you may form new goals, new ambitions, or something around success and public image may shift or may have a fresh start going forward. So, definitely, you're making some sort of important decision during this time, or there's an opportunity to make some sort of important decision about your life direction. So, definitely, this can mean a new chapter where your career matters are concerned. Now, on the 19th of June, there is a major transit occurring, very crucial, one of the very crucial transits of 2026, which is Chiron is entering the sign of Taurus. So, since 2019, Chiron has been moving through the sign of Aries. On 19th of June, it will enter the sign of Taurus, which is a long-term transit. It's an 8-year cycle. So Chiron will be moving through your 9th house for the next 8 years. Now, wherever Chiron goes, it highlights our wounding and also gives an opportunity for healing. Now, it is a long-term transit, so the healing will be slow, but there's an opportunity to heal your 9th house matter, which is your belief system, your worldview, your philosophy, and all that. So here your perception, your viewpoint, your understanding, your truth, all that is going through some sort of inner healing. So here there may be some sort of redirection where your faith is concerned, where your beliefs are concerned, where your perceptions are concerned, Virgos. Now, on the 21st of June, the Cancer season begins, meaning Sun enters the sign of Cancer. Now, 11th house is again your social house, is the house of your friend circle, your support system, your aspirations, hopes and wishes and all that. So here the social life becomes very emotionally charged. Your friendships feels more sensitive, more important for you. There's a desire for belonging here, to fit in here. There's a lot of emotional investment in your friendship circle. Also, you will be very emotionally invested in your future goals. Now, on the 28th of June, Mars enters the sign of Gemini, which is your 10th house. So, there's a lot of activity in your career matters. Now, most of the month of June until 28th of June, Mars will be moving through your 9th house in the sign of Taurus. So the Martian energy is mainly focused in your 9th house in the month of June. But on the 28th of June, Mars enters Gemini. So this brings high energy to your aspirations, to your ambition, to your drive, to your goals and all that. Also, your visibility, your reputation, your image and all that. This can also mean more responsibilities or more work. You may be very busy during this time. There can also be conflicts around your professional life as well, or a sense of urgency around your professional life. So definitely Mars in your 10th house will push you in action mode where your career matters are concerned. Now on the 29th of June, there's a full moon occurring in the sign of Capricorn, which is your 5th house. Now, full moon is a time of culmination, ending, awareness, realization, clarity, and all that. So, a full moon occurring in your 5th house There can be some sort of energy around romance, love, dating, creative projects, children, personal pleasure, personal joy, what brings you joy. So here, emotional expression will definitely reach a peak, and you will want to express from the heart. Creativity really explodes as well with this full moon. Things become more clear as to what you want to create going forward, Virgos. Now, on the 29th of June, Mercury turns retrograde in the sign of Cancer in your 11th house. So, here, your social dynamic, friend circle, your aspiration, future goals, all that needs a review. So, you're reviewing all these matters during the Mercury retrograde period. So, friendships from the past may return or resurface during this time. You may be re-evaluating goals and future direction. There may be some sort of misunderstanding in groups or networks. You may be reconsidering who aligns with your vision. This is a reset kind of energy where your social dynamic are concerned, Virgos. So overall, Virgos, the month of June 2026 is all about social expansion. It's about new connections, friendships, focus on future goals and all that. There's also an opportunity for career reset, new professional direction, or new public image is forming going forward. There's a lot of internal review, emotional review, letting go of past energies, self-sabotaging energies, withdrawing and all. You are releasing that and really more connecting on the emotional level and reflecting on relationships and your sense of belonging going forward. Virgos, thank you. Hello Libras, welcome to your June 2026 monthly astrology reading. Now, Libras, the month of June 2026 is a major career visibility month for you. This is a time of direction shifting this month. Now, there will be an emotional element to your identity and your foundation as well this month. This is the month where your public life and your private life both are asking for attention. So, there's a need for balance in these areas. So, what you're asking this month, Libras, is what are you building and does your foundation support it? Now, the month of June begins with Mercury entering the sign of Cancer on the 1st of June, which is your 10th house. So, Mercury is entering your 10th house on the 1st of June. So, the attention turns to your career matters, Libras, your reputation, your public image, visibility, your place in the world, basically. So, here your attention is on career planning, professional communication, your reputation, visibility, public image. There may be some sort of important conversations with authority figures going forward this month. There may be some sort of decision making around goals, ambitions, and life direction as well. So you're fully mentally focused on your future and your status this month, Libras. Now, Venus will be joining Jupiter in the sign of Cancer in during the first 2 weeks of the month of June. So the energy is very strong first 2 weeks. Venus conjuncting Jupiter, all in the sign of Cancer in your 10th house. So again, your 10th house energy is in focus. Now both Jupiter and Venus are benefic. So they bring blessings, growth, optimism, likability, expansion, and all that. Now, all this is occurring in your 10th house, Libras. So, this is one of the most important career blessings for you in the year 2026. This is a major visibility aspect, major recognition aspect. So, there can be some sort of recognition, achievement, positive visibility, career opportunities, promotions, support from authority figure or support from your audience. There can be a growth in reputation. There will be social approval as well. Basically, this conjunction will lead to career expansion, and this is potential success energy. Now, Jupiter amplifies wherever it goes. So, connecting with Venus in Cancer and also Mercury in Cancer, it's amplifying your likability factor. It's amplifying your visible charm. It's amplifying your speech, communication, optimism, generosity, abundance, and all that. So all these energy is focused in your career matters, your public image, reputation, and your future direction. Now, Mercury will be squaring Saturn this month, and the energy is strong from the 5th of June to the 16th of June. So during this time, you can expect some sort of growth through tension. Now, Mercury is in the sign of Cancer, which is your 10th house, and Saturn is in the sign of Aries, which is your 7th house. So your 10th house and 7th house energies are clashing. So that means there's a clash between your ambitions and your relationship. So there's a need to find a balance between your ambition, what you want going forward, whether it's your job, your business, professional matters and all that, and the demands or expectations of a partner, whether it's personal partnership or business partnership. Now, there can be some sort of serious conversation where work matters are concerned and also commitment matters are concerned this month. So you may feel pulled between what you want to build and what others expect of you, Libras. Now, on the 13th of June, Venus enters the sign of Leo, and this occurs in your 11th house. That's where your Leo sign is. Now, Venus in the sign of Leo is a very generous, very expansive, very creative energy. It's very warm and bold and very active energy. So here in your 11th house, your social life becomes very active. Friendship circle, social circle feels more supportive, more enjoyable. Your network improves and grows. Your group involvement increases as well going forward. And you may reconnect or connect with like-minded people or people who inspire you, basically, Libras. So this is a time of social expansion and positive connections. Now, on the 15th of June, there's a new moon occurring in the sign of Gemini, which is your 9th house. So this brings new beginnings, fresh start, where your 9th house matters are concerned. Now, 9th house is a house of your belief system, your perspective, your viewpoint, your philosophy, traveling, expanding, studying, exploring, truth-seeking, and all that. So this brings new start in these areas. So there can be a new energy where your beliefs are concerned, your life direction, your philosophy, your worldview. You may be learning something new, or you may be traveling during this time. So this is a very mental and spiritual expansion energy. Now, on the 19th of June, there is a major transit occurring, which is one of the crucial transits of 2026, which is Chiron is entering the sign of Taurus. Now, since 2019, Chiron has been moving through the sign of Aries in your 7th house. Libras, in the month of June, it enters Taurus, which is your 8th house. So here, there's an opportunity for long-term healing where 8th house matters are concerned. Now, it is an 8-year transit, so the healing will be slow, but there will be an opportunity to release past wounds, old wounds around financial entanglement, emotional entanglement, around intimacy, trust issues, fear of vulnerability, or loss, or finances, or debt, whatever that might be. There is any old wounds around trust, control, dependency will surface during these 8 years, and there's a need or an opportunity to heal. Now, this is a slow but very transformative time for you, Libras. Now, on the 21st of June, Cancer season begins, meaning Sun enters the sign of Cancer, which is your 10th house. So focus is back on your career matters, your reputation, your status, your visibility, and all that. You are emotionally invested in your career matters. There's a strong focus on success and responsibilities. There will be a lot of visibility and also pressure as well because you're emotionally invested in the outcome. Now, this can mean there's a need to lead or perform during this time. So you are putting yourself out there, you're becoming more visible and becoming more aware where your professional matters are concerned, Libras. Now, on the 28th of June, Mars enters the sign of Gemini, which is your ninth house. Now, most of the month of June, Mars will be moving through the sign of Taurus, which is your eighth house. On the 28th, it will be in your ninth house. So, Mars brings drive, passion, desire, energy, aggression wherever it goes. So, in your ninth house, your drive expands into maybe traveling or learning, or you may want to plan your future during this time. There's a strong desire to explore and expand where life direction is concerned, Libras. Now, on the 29th of June, there's a full moon in the sign of Capricorn, which is your fourth house. So, a full moon is a time of culmination or ending or clarity, awareness, realization, revelation, and all that. So, here there can be a major emotional culmination or some sort of culmination where your home situation is concerned, your family matters are concerned, or there may be some sort of clarity or resolution around these matters. So this can mean you're making some sort of decision around your home matters, your living situations. You could be leaving your home or relocating. Your emotional foundation becomes very visible, very much in focus. So your private life, your home life, your family members may demand your attention or need your attention during this time. Something in your emotional base, your foundation will come to a close. Now, Mercury will turn retrograde on the 29th of June in the sign of Cancer, again, your 10th house energy. So, this is very important for you, Libras, because your career decisions are being reassessed. So, whatever career decisions that you have made during the month of June, you are reassessing them during this time. You're reviewing them. You're working on any past opportunities or energies, or past opportunities may return as well during this time. There can be some sort of career decision made during this time. Also, just be cautious of any miscommunication in professional settings or within your work or your professional matters and all that. So there is some sort of decision making and the need to review and reassess that decision during this time. So overall, Libras, the month of June 2026 is majorly focused on your career, visibility, recognition, responsibility, life direction changes. There's also focus on your emotional foundation, your home life, your inner world. All this demands resolution and clarity during this month. And your belief system, your viewpoint, your worldview expands during this time. You're more open to exploring and really open to future prospects and different life paths going forward, Libras. Thank you. Hello, Scorpios. Welcome to your June 2026 monthly astrology reading. Now, Scorpios, the month of June for you is a month of expansion. It's a month of truth seeking, major direction shift where your belief system, your career matters, your emotional foundation are concerned. Now, the month of June begins with Mercury entering the sign of Cancer, which is your ninth house, Scorpios. So your mind shifts towards ninth house matter, which is belief system, traveling, expanding, learning, education, higher education, spirituality, philosophies, and basically big picture thinking and planning. So you're mentally moving away from your daily life and your current situation into future direction and seeking some sort of truth and meaning in life, Scorpios. Now, Venus will be conjunct Jupiter this month as well, and the energy is very strong the first 2 weeks of the month of June. So, Jupiter is already in the sign of Cancer since mid last year. Now, Venus joins Jupiter all in your ninth house. Now, Mercury is also in the ninth house, so Jupiter will be amplifying or exaggerating the Venusian and Mercurial energy in the sign of Cancer. Now, Venus and Jupiter both are benefics. So it means they are both beneficial energy. It's a harmonious connection. Jupiter amplifies, it brings growth, it brings optimism wherever it goes. And with Venus, it increases the likability factors, increases the value and your charm and all that. Now, all this is occurring in your ninth house. So this will feel as a very supportive transit. Here, there's travel opportunities, made a lot of movement, some sort of positive news where legal matters are concerned or education is concerned, can come through during this time. There's a lot of spiritual growth as well and emotional healing through belief systems as well. So there can be expansion of worldview as well. During this time, life gets bigger and more hopeful, Scorpios. Now, Mercury will be squaring Saturn as well this month, and the energy is strong from the 5th of June till the 15th of June. So the 10 days, Mercury energy is strong in a square aspect with Saturn. Now, Mercury is in the sign of Cancer, which is your ninth house, and Saturn is in the sign of Aries, which is your sixth house. So there is a pressure between your belief system and your work life, your job, your daily responsibility, obligations, your health matters as well. So there can be some sort of tension between your work routine and your desire for freedom. This can also mean mental overload or doubt about your direction as well. So you may feel that you want more, but your current life feels restrictive, Scorpios. Now, on the 13th of June, Venus enters the sign of Leo. Now, Leo is your 10th house. So, Venus entering your 10th house brings a lot of visibility around career matters, a lot of positive energy. Your public image improves. There can be some recognition or attention at work. There can be strong professional magnetism as well. You come across very charming and all that. Your public image improves, your visibility improves and all that. So there can be some opportunities through leadership or just how you project yourself outwardly. There can be favors from authority figure as well with Venus in your 10th house. You become more seen, more appreciated professionally with this energy. Now, on the 15th of June, there's a new moon in the sign of Gemini, which is your 8th house. Now, this is a time of deep reset around your 8th house matter, which is shared finances, loans, debts, investment, deep connections, emotional intimacy, trust issues, control issues, and all that. So here you're looking at these matters with fresh eyes, new perspective. There's an opportunity for new beginning, and this can lead to psychological transformation as well. Now, here there's a need to let go of emotional baggage because this is your emotional reset point. You are hoping for some sort of new beginning where your financial situations are concerned, your emotional situations are concerned. You want to transform these situations going forward. So there's a need for new beginning or setting new intention or looking at things differently going forward, Scorpios. Now, on the 19th of June, there is one of the major transits of the year 2026 occurs, which is Chiron enters the sign of Taurus. Now, Chiron has been moving through the sign of Aries since 2019, but from 2026 for the next 8 years, it's going to be the sign of Taurus, which is your 7th house. Now, Chiron is our inner wounding, but also gives opportunity for healing. So, and all this is in your 7th house, which is the house of relationship, is the house of commitments, both personal and business. It's the house of social interaction and all that. So this is a long-term healing cycle where relationship matters are concerned, where partnership are concerned. This can bring old partnership wound, old relational wounds or traumas to the surface, Scorpios. Any fear of abandonment or control issues or fear of rejection where relationships are concerned will come to surface, and you will have to find healthier way of dealing with your relationship. Also, there will be a need to form healthy boundaries and healthy attachment patterns as well going forward. So this is one of the most important relational healing transit for you. Now, on the 21st of June, Cancer season begins, which means Sun enters the sign of Cancer. which is your ninth house. Now, here your focus deepens into something more meaningful, something more purposeful. You're seeking truth, you want truth during this time. This can lead to traveling or learning something new. There's a strong desire to understand your life direction, spirituality, philosophy, all this intensifies during this time, during the Cancer season. So you're searching for emotional truths in your belief system. Now, on the 28th of June, Mars enters the sign of Gemini in your 8th house. Now, most of the month of June, Mars is moving through the sign of Taurus, which is your 7th house. So, Mars energy, which is your drive, your desire, your passion, how you take action, is focused on 7th house, which is relationship and all that. Now, on the 28th June, it shifts to the 8th house energy. So here, energy becomes very intense. This can mean matters around shared finances, joint resources surface during this time or become very active. There can be a lot of emotional intensity during this time. Also, opportunity for psychological breakthroughs, or there can also be confrontations as well in your connections, especially around financial matters. So, if there are an emotional entanglement or financial entanglements during this time, Scorpios, these can come to the surface. Now, there may be a need to make some decision, an urgent decision around finances as well. But overall, Mars in 8th house can give deep transformation. There can also be some power struggle around finances as well from 28th of June. Now, on the 29th of June, there's a full moon occurring in the sign of Capricorn, which is your 3rd house. So, your 3rd house matter is activated. Now, full moon brings culmination or ending or clarity or revelation, realization, awareness. All this is occurring in your 3rd house, Scorpio. This means there can be a mental and communication related culmination during this time. Something may be revealed through an important decision, conversation, communication, information, message. Something is revealed. Some sort of news may come, some sort of information may come your way that reveals things during this time. There can be a completion to a learning cycle or a communication cycle as well. There will be some sort of clarity around a situation involving your close environment, definitely with this full moon in Capricorn. Now, on the 29th of June, Mercury turns retrograde in the sign of Cancer, which is your 9th house. So here, your belief system is under review. Now, any decision that you may have made or something that you may have decided during the month of June is up for review during this time. Now, there can be travel delays as well. There may be some sort of revisions around travel plans. You may be reconsidering an education or long-term plans as well. Your old beliefs may resurface, or you may have to review your perception, your worldview, your viewpoint, your philosophy, and all that. So here you're reflecting on your belief systems and all that, Scorpios. So overall, Scorpios, the month of June 2026 is all about expansion and redirection. It's about growth, traveling, learning, belief system shifting. There's also opportunity for deep transformation, emotional, both emotional and financial. Also, this month starts the relationship healing cycle, and there's an opportunity to heal your partnership dynamic going forward, Scorpios. Thank you. Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your June 2026 monthly astrology reading. Now, Sagittarius, the month of June 2026 is very much focused on your emotional world. It's a deeply emotional and relational turning point for you. This month, your houses of intimacy, shared resources, trust, control, long-term belief system, worldview, all that is activated. So this month is more about deep psychological and emotional restructuring more than just surface level experiences. So on the 1st of June, Mercury enters the sign of Cancer, Sagittarius, and this is your 8th house. So Mercury is entering your 8th house on the 1st of June. Now this means your mind is now focused on the 8th house matter, which are shared resources, social finances, debts, loans, investments. also emotional depth, intimacy, psychological self, hidden truths, themes of transformation, and all that. So you're thinking more intensely and more privately than usual during the month of June. Now, towards the end of June, Mercury will go retrograde. So whatever decisions you make during the first part of the month of June, you will be reviewing them towards the end of June. Now, Venus will be conjuncting Jupiter as well this month. Now, Jupiter has been moving through the sign of Cancer since mid last year. And in the month of June, Venus will join Jupiter. So it forms a conjunction, and the energy is strongest in the first 2 weeks of the month. Now, Jupiter is a very benefic energy. Now, both Jupiter and Venus are benefic energies. So when they combine forces, it brings blessings, it brings growth, it brings generosity, optimism, and all that. Now, all this is occurring in your 8th house. So Venus and Jupiter together in your 8th house for the first 2 weeks of the month of June brings opportunity for powerful healing and transformation, especially around your financial situation, your shared resources, financial support, any emotional or financial connections also is highlighted with this Venus and Jupiter energy. Now, Jupiter amplifies and exaggerates wherever it goes and whatever it touches. So here in your 8th house, it's going to amplify the Venusian energy as well as the Mercurial energy, because Mercury is also in the sign of Cancer. So this combination makes it very emotional because it's all happening in the sign of Cancer. So our sensitivity increases. There's an opportunity for emotional healing, strong bonding, or deepening trust in relationship matters. So this is definitely going to bring deep emotional and energetic merging during this time. Here, connections will feel very intense. Now, Mercury will be squaring Saturn this month as well, and the energy is strongest from the 5th of June until 15th of June. Now, Mercury is in the sign of Cancer, which is your 8th house, and Saturn is in the sign of Aries, which is your 5th house. So 8th house and 5th house energies are at square, means there's tension between these two energies. This means there's some sort of friction between the emotional depth or deep connection that you are hoping and your personal pleasure and romance and joy. So there may be a clash between the meaningful relationship that you're trying to build and just having casual fun. Now, this can bring some sort of clash between your desire to express yourself, your personal joy and all that, and the emotional responsibility that you may have. So here there can be some sort of fear of vulnerability that may be affecting your relationship, deeper connections during this time. This Mercury and Saturn together can bring some sort of seriousness to your mind, to the decisions you're making, how you're communicating and all that. So there can be some sort of seriousness around here. Now, on the 13th of June, Venus enters the sign of Leo, which is your 9th house, Sagittarius. Venus in Leo is a very confident, very bold energy. So in the 9th house, it's going to really activate your desire to expand and explore, travel, learn, expand your belief system, philosophies, spirituality, social connections, distant learning, traveling, just basically expanding your beliefs and viewpoints and all that. It is a very optimistic time because Venus is our likability, what we value, what we appreciate. So you're definitely very much into traveling, expanding, learning, growing, and all that. This will bring an appreciation for freedom and meaning during this time. Now, on the 15th of June, the new moon occurs in the sign of Gemini. This is your 7th house, Sagittarius. So there's a major relationship reset or opportunity for new beginning or fresh start or seeing things differently or with new perspective where your relationship matters are concerned, Sagittarius. So this is definitely brings fresh dynamics in love situation or even business partnership. Commitment decisions or new people may enter your life, or if you have existing relationship, you may be redefining or really understanding expectations of your partner and your own needs. So here you are definitely redefining what relationship and commitments are, what relationship and commitments are all about. Now, on the 19th of June, there's one of the major transits of 2026 happening, which is Chiron is moving the sign of Taurus. Now, since 2019, Chiron has been moving through the sign of Aries. Now, on the 19th of June and for the next 8 years, Chiron enters the sign of Taurus. Now, Taurus is your sixth house. So Chiron will be transiting through your house for the next 8 years. Now, Chiron is our wound, old wound, and it gives the opportunity to heal as well. So next 8 year is your healing journey in sixth house matter. So this is a long-term transit. So you are healing your old wound around your daily routine, your health, your work, your stress patterns, any burnout themes or over responsibility or need for perfection or productivity, usefulness and all that. That's what you are healing during these 8 years. So you're healing your daily life pressure patterns, stress patterns and all that. So if you have been taking too much upon yourself, too many obligations, too many responsibilities and all that in the past, with Chiron in your sixth house, you're healing those and not attaching your worth to what you produce or how useful you are to others, because Taurus is about your self-worth. So you are differentiating between your usability and your worth. Now, on the 21st of June, Cancer season begins, meaning Sun enters the sign of Cancer. Now, this is your 8th house again, so your 8th house energy is back in focus. This means there's emotional intensity around 8th house matter. So there's a strong need for emotional closeness. Your intuition is strong around trust issues or control issues, around shared finances, emotional patterns and all that. So this is a very deeply psychological time for you, Sagittarius. Now on the 28th of June, Mars enters the sign of Gemini, which is your 7th house. It's your opposite sign. So Mars is all about energy. It's action taking. It's how we take action. It's our desire, our passion, our drive and all that. So when Mars enters the 7th house, which is focused on relationship, partnership and all that, here relationship becomes very energetic, very active. So there can be increased passion or there can be conflicts in relationship, partnership as well. There can be some sort of fast moving decision making around relationship as well. Also, there could be strong attraction in relationship dynamic. You may decide to commit or you may decide to move in together with Mars energy in the 7th house. So definitely there's a potential for high energy. Now high energy also brings possible arguments. They can be breakthrough in communication as well, or it can be confrontational communication as well, or really passionate communication as well with this energy. So definitely relationships are very much in focus and becomes unavoidable. Now, Sagittarius, on the 29th of June, there's a full moon in the sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn is your second house. So there's a full moon occurring in your second house on the 29th of June. Now, second house is a house of your finances. It's a house of your resources, your assets, how you sustain yourself, your stability, your sense of self-worth, your value system and all that. So full moon is about climax. It's about culmination. It's about clarity, realization, revelation, awareness and all that. So full moon occurring in the second house, there is some sort of financial or emotional climax around resources, around assets, your sense of self-worth, and what you truly value. So money situations becomes clear and needs resolution. There is a self-worth breakthrough or realization as well. So you realize what your true worth is. You may be making some sort of financial decision, or you may be completing something around finances during this time. Here there will be some sort of clarity around second house matter. So what you gain clarity during the full moon in your second house is what you're earning, what the money you're making, and what you deserve. Is it balanced? Now, on the 29th of June, Mercury turns retrograde in your 8th house in the sign of Cancer. So when Mercury turns retrograde, our mind turns inwards. We are more in reflective mode. It can lead to overthinking and constantly reviewing our decisions as well. So here, this is a deep review phase where 8th house matters are concerned. So you're reviewing or going over the decisions that you made around finances, around your emotional bonds, around trust issues, control issues. You're reflecting more on psychological, mental level. So definitely this is a deep emotional audit period around finances and deep connections and all that. So overall, Sagittarius, the month of June 2026 is all about deep transformation. Focus is on emotional bonding, intimacy, trust and control patterns, shared resources. Also, there's focus on relationship matters. There's an opportunity for either a redefining or restructuring or fresh start where partnerships are concerned. And obviously, you are gaining clarity around your financial matter and your sense of self-worth this month, Sagittarius. Thank you. Hello Capricorn, welcome to your June 2026 monthly astrology reading. Now Capricorn, the month of June 2026 is a major relationship turning point for you. There is a major focus on partnership, on emotional intensity, also long-term direction. There's a focus on your daily life, your work, your health matters this month. So on the 1st of June, Mercury enters the sign of Cancer, which is your 7th house, Capricorn. So there's a focus on relationship and partnership straight from day one. Now, Mercury is our mind, how we communicate and our thought process and all that. So the focus turns strongly on the partnership, relationship you have in your life, the existing ones or the people around you, your social interactions and all that. So there can be some sort of important conversation with partners or close people in your life. There could be some sort of negotiation, some sort of agreement, some sort of clarity in your relationship during this time. During this time, communication becomes very personal, very emotional, very relational. Now, Mercury will go retrograde towards the end of the month. So whatever decision you make during this time, the first 4 weeks of the month of June, will need some sort of reviewing towards the end of it. Now, Venus and Jupiter will be conjunct as well this month. The energy is very strong during the first 2 weeks of the month of June. So Jupiter is already moving in the sign of, now all this happens in the sign of Cancer, which is your 7th house. Now Capricorn, Jupiter has already been moving through the sign of Cancer since mid last year, and Venus joins Jupiter. Now Mercury is already in the sign of Cancer. So you have Jupiter, Venus, and Mercury energy in your 7th house. Now Jupiter amplifies whatever it touches. So here it is amplifying the Venusian as well as the Mercurial energy. So this is one of the biggest relationship blessing for you this year. There can be relationship growth, maybe deepening a commitment, new romantic or business partnership entering your life during this time, or you could be healing some sort of existing relationship. Now this can bring increased harmony, attraction, some sort of reconciliation energy as well. So here definitely you are lucky where relationship matters are concerned. This can mean engagement, commitments, or moving in together as well. Mercury will be squaring Saturn this month, and the energy is very strong from the 5th of June until the 15th of June. Now, Mercury is in the sign of Cancer, and Saturn is in the sign of Aries. So your 7th house energy and your 4th house energy is at a square. This means there can be tension between your relationship matters and your responsibility around home and family matters. There can be needs of a partner versus your emotional foundation are at a tension during this time. Now, there can be some serious conversation around your living situation or commitment this month as well. So you may feel that your relationship and your private life are pulling you in different direction. Now, Capricorn, on the 13th of June, Venus enters the sign of Leo, which is your 8th house, Capricorn. So Venus brings the Venusian energy, the energy of appreciation, likability, value in your 8th house matter. So here there can be increased emotional intimacy. There will be a strong desire for closeness during this time. Also, your shared finances, financial themes, partners' finances, resources, social finances, debt, investment, loans, and all that are a strong theme. And there's a strong desire to, deal with these matters this month. Now, Venus will also bring passion in relationship matters as well. So this brings deep bonding and emotional vulnerability, Capricorn. Now, on the 15th of June, there's a new moon occurring in the sign of Gemini, which is your sixth house. Now, new moon is all about new beginnings, fresh starts, seeing things with a different perspective and all that. And sixth house is a house of your work, your health, your job, your daily life, routine, schedules, and all that. So this new moon here can bring fresh start to your daily life. So this can mean you're starting a new job, or maybe a work routine shifts, or there's a reset around your work patterns. This can be new tasks and responsibility around your new job or existing job. There can be some sort of improvements where your health and lifestyle is concerned going forward from the 15th of June. There will be a desire for better organization and more productivity where your daily life is concerned, your everyday life is concerned. So this is a practical reset to your lifestyle, to your daily reality. Now, on the 19th of June, one of the most crucial transits of the year 2026 is occurring, which is Chiron is entering the sign of Taurus. Now, Chiron has been moving through the sign of Aries since 2019, affecting your fourth house. Now it enters the fifth house, fifth house is the house of expression, self-expression, creative expression, passion project, personal joy, pleasure, romance, children, inner child, and all that. And Chiron deals with old wounds and also healing these old wounds. So this is a long-term transit. It's an 8-year transit starting from June 2026. So there is a long-term healing around fifth house matter. Now, here you will be healing your patterns around love, romance, emotional expression, creativity, self-expression, wounds around confidence, being seen, joy, personal expression, passion projects, and all that. Around your children as well, connecting with children, also connecting with your inner child. So being a little bit more light-hearted, Capricorn. This opens a slow but very powerful healing of your heart expression. Now, on the 21st of June, Cancer season begins, meaning the sun enters the sign of Cancer. This is in your seventh house. So relationship becomes even more important as the Cancer season begins. Here, there is emotional sensitivity where partnership is concerned. The energy of wanting a relationship increases during this time, or the focus is on a relationship. And this can be personal relationship, business partnership, either of them. So they will be focused on commitment, balance, connection. Relationship decisions feel more important during this time. So you're more aware of the relationship dynamic during this time. So there's a lot of awareness around relationship dynamic this month. Now, on the 28th of June, Mars enters the sign of Gemini, which is sixth house. Again, there was a new moon in the sign of Gemini in your sixth house in the middle of the month. And on the 28th, Mars enters it. So there's a lot of focus again around your job, work, health matters, and all that. So you may have started a job with the new moon or the 2 weeks following the new moon, and Mars entering here brings a fast-paced routine. So your work and your routine, your daily life becomes very fast-paced. There's increased workload, you're very busy, your productivity spikes. There can be potential stress and burnout as well. So do manage your risk well during this time. There will be a strong drive to get things done as well, to achieve things, to be more practical, more productive, and all that. So with Mars in the sixth house, life becomes very busy, very practical, very mentally active time for you, Capricorn. Now, on the 29th June, there's a full moon in your sign, in the sign of Capricorn, in your first house. So this is a major personal reset time. Now, full moon is all about culmination, endings. It's about realization, clarity, relations, and all that. So here there's a major identity. So this is a major identity reset. Here you will gain some sort of clarity around your personal goals, your life decisions, life direction, your appearance, your appearance and all that, your self-image, how you show up in the world, how you project yourself, how you present yourself, and all that. So there's a realization around who you're becoming going forward. Also, there can be some sort of external recognition or personal breakthrough as well during this time. So definitely here you're reaching some sort of clarity or some sort of culmination around your identity, Capricorn. Now, on the 29th of June, Mercury turns retrograde in your seventh house in the sign of Cancer. So relationship enters a review mode during this time. Any past partners or unresolved issues may return during this time. There can be miscommunication with partners as well during this time, or you are reassessing any commitments or any decisions around relationship that you may have made in order to find some sort of balance, some sort of agreement. So definitely this is a time where where you're reviewing past decisions and making final decisions as well. So overall, Capricorn, the month of June 2026 is a lot focused on relationship and commitments. There's opportunity for growth, decision making, emotional developments around partnership. There's also opportunity for identity shift, personal breakthrough, more clarity around your sense of self, and your home matters, family matters, relationship matters, emotional foundation. All that is also becoming very important for you this month, Capricorn. Thank you. Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your June 2026 monthly astrology reading. Now, Aquarius, the month of June 2026 is all about work, health, your life structure. There's focus on relationship, long-term direction, and all that. So this month, you're reorganizing your life and really looking into what truly supports the life you want going forward, Aquarius. Now, on the 1st of June, Mercury enters the sign of Cancer, which is your sixth house. So there's a lot of focus in your sixth house matter in the month of June 2026 because there's several planets in the sign of Cancer during this month. So Mercury entering Cancer, your mental attention turns to your work, your routine, your responsibilities, your health matters, your habits, your well-being, how you organize your life, your productivity level, how you problem solve. All that is activated this month. So you are very much making decisions around your efficiency, around your stress level, burnout, health matters, your daily life, how you organize yourself, and all that. Now, Venus and Jupiter will be conjunct this month. So the energy is very strong the first 2 weeks of the month of June. Now, Jupiter is in the sign of Cancer since mid last year, and in the month of June, when Venus joins it. Now, Jupiter amplifies whatever it touches. So here, Jupiter will be amplifying the Venusian energy, also the Mercurial energy, because Mercury also entered the sign of Cancer on the 1st of June. So there's a lot of exaggeration of the Venusian and Mercurial qualities where your sixth house matters are concerned. So again, here, this is a very supportive period where your lifestyle improvement, your work improvement, your health improvements are concerned. So here you can have better work environment or better job opportunities. Your health can improve as well, or the routines around your health can improve. This period can also be a period of recovery for you. Here your daily responsibilities flows more easily. Your work environment, your co-workers also can be very supportive, and life kind of moves smoothly, and there's a lot of structure during this time, or there's an opportunity to gain structure during this time. Now, Aquarius, Mercury will be squaring Saturn as well this month. Now, Mercury is in the sign of Cancer and Saturn is in the sign of Aries. So, from the 5th of June to the 15th of June, the energy is very strong of Mercury squaring Saturn. So, this is your sixth house and third house energy in attention. This can show up as mental pressure because sixth house is your well-being and third house is your mental activity. And Saturn brings a lot of energy to these houses. So this can show up as stress level or work overload or communication overload. They can be stress around deadlines, or you may be multitasking during this time. This can really feel mentally restricted as well, or because there are so many obligations and responsibilities and all that. So here you're restructuring your habits and all that, especially the ones that feel restrictive. So you're kind of releasing your stress level by restructuring and reorganizing your life during this time. Now, on the 13th of June, Venus enters the sign of Leo, which is your seventh house. It's your opposite sign, Aquarius. Now, seventh house is the house of relationship and partnership and all that. So Venus will really bring positive energy to your house of relationship. Now, Venus in the sign of Leo is a very bold energy. It's a very magnetic energy. It brings a lot of focus on expressing yourself freely, openly, in a grand way. It's very confident Venusian energy. And all this happening in your seventh house, you will feel more warmth and attraction in partnership. There can be improved communication with partners. Your romantic or business relationship and opportunities will increase as well or improve during this time. Here, your desire for connection and appreciation also is in focus. Venus here will bring some sort of relationship harmony, and you will be more magnetic, more attractive to others during this time. Now, on the 15th of June, there's a new moon in the sign of Gemini, and Gemini is your fifth house, Aquarius. So there's some sort of fresh start where your fifth house matters are concerned. So you can expect some sort of new beginning where romance, dating, creativity, self-expression, your hobbies, pleasure, joy, and all that are concerned. You could also be connecting with your children or your inner child. You could be connecting with your inner child. So you are being more light-hearted, you're enjoying yourself and all that. So there's an opportunity for fresh start in these areas or seeing these matters with a new perspective. This is a great time to start some sort of passion project, some sort of creative project as well. Now, Aquarius, on the 19th of June, one of the crucial transits of 2026 occurs, which is Chiron enters Taurus. Now, since 2019, Chiron has been moving through the sign of Aries, which is your third house. Now, on the 19th of June, it enters the sign of Taurus, which is your fourth house. Now, Chiron deals with old wounds and also gives you opportunity to heal those old wounds. Now, this is a long-term transit. It's 8-year transit. So during these 8 years, you are dealing with old wounds around fourth house matters and healing those old wounds as well. Now, fourth house, as we know, is the house of your home and family matter, your foundation, your inner world, your private self, your security, stability, and all that. So this is an opportunity for deep, long-term healing around home and family matters. So this healing begins in June 2026 and lasts for 8 years. So here, there is healing around emotional safety, a sense of belonging, any childhood conditioning, any ancestral patterns, old wounds around stability, emotional grounding, and all that. Now, this is a slow foundational transformation because it's an 8-year transit, but this will give you an opportunity to release old wounds or heal old wounds, Aquarius. Now, on the 21st of June, Cancer season begins, meaning Sun enters the sign of Cancer, which is your sixth house. So the focus is back on your sixth house matters. So life becomes very practical, very grounded during this time, especially around your work matters, health matters, and all that. So the focus is on health, your well-being, and all that. There can be increased work responsibilities as well. There could be a desire to improve lifestyle patterns as well, productivity, efficiency, and all that. Also, you will be very emotionally sensitive to stress patterns as well. So be cautious around your health and well-being. Do take care of your health and well-being definitely during this time, because your body and routine become emotionally important during this time. So you must take care of your health first and release any stress level or things that is causing stress, Aquarius. Now, on the 28th of June, Mars enters the sign of Gemini, which is your fifth house. So here, energy becomes very active. There's focus on creativity, on inspiration. There's a focus on romance, dating, pleasure, personal joy. What brings you joy. It's a very heart-centered house. So Mars here brings increased creativity, strong romantic energy, traction increases. There's a desire for fun, movement, expression, and all that. There could be possible impulsiveness as well around your decisions where fifth house matters are concerned. So you may be making impulsive decisions around dating, around romance, around fun, around creativity, around self-expression, around your children as well, because fifth house is the house of children as well. So here you could be making some sort of impulsive decision. So just be mindful of that energy. Otherwise, this is definitely a shift from the usual routine to more creative expression of yourself, Aquarius. Now, on the 29th of June, there's a full moon in the sign of Capricorn, which is your 12th house. So here there's a deep emotional and subconscious release where your past patterns, emotional baggage, self-sabotaging patterns, hidden struggles, hidden fears are concerned. So full moon here brings some sort of climax, culmination, realization, clarity, understanding around these matters. So here you're releasing hidden emotional baggage. Also, need for rest and withdrawal is in focus during this time. You may be closing some sort of subconscious internal cycle during this time, especially matters that are hidden, not just from others, but from yourself as well, Aquarius. Now, obviously, with the 12th house, your dream state can become very active, your intuition becomes very strong, your imagination becomes very strong as well. So here definitely there will be some sort of completion behind the scene where your subconscious self, emotional baggage, hidden struggle, and fears are concerned, Aquarius. Now, on the 29th of June, Mercury turns retrograde in the sign of Cancer in your sixth house. So, the decisions that you made from the start of the month of June when Mercury entered Cancer and your sixth house, those decisions or communication, conversation that you had is up for review from the 29th of June. Here, work and routines need some sort of reassessment. You may be reworking your schedules or responsibilities. There can be some miscommunication as well in work environment or with colleagues as well. So this is the time to revisit these health habits and stress patterns and work patterns and your work environment and all that. There can be delays as well to your work patterns, to your routine schedules, daily plans and all that. So just be mindful of that. Otherwise, this is a review period, a reassessment period of your lifestyle, your daily reality, Aquarius. So overall, Aquarius, the month of June 2026 is focused on your work and health matters. There's an opportunity to restructure your routine, your work matters, your health matters, your well-being and all that. There's a focus on relationship, on creativity as well. You are definitely interested in romance, joy, partnership, all that. And also there's an opportunity for deep emotional healing. And also the cycle of healing around your family foundation starts in the month of June 2026. Aquarius, thank you. Hello Pisces, welcome to your June 2026 monthly astrology reading. Now, Pisces, the month of June 2026 is a lot focus on creativity, on emotional expression, on creative expression, your passion projects, your hobbies. It's very much focused on socializing. It's focused on your work matters, health matters, your long-term healing, and restructuring your life in a practical way. Now, the month of June begins with Mercury entering the sign of Cancer on the 1st of June, which is your fifth house. So your mind shifts to the fifth house matters. Now, fifth house is a house of creativity, of self-expression. It's a house of joy, pleasure, your hobbies, personal passion. It's a house of romance and dating. It's also the house of children and your inner child, Pisces. So with Mercury entering your fifth house, your mind becomes more creative, more expressive. There's a lot of focus on things that bring you joy. Here you may be inspired to write. They can be interested in passion projects, something that is coming from your heart center. You want to express yourself in a very emotional, very creative way. We're here with Mercury in your fifth house. Your thoughts are very much heart-led, very playful. Your communication is very light-hearted and all that. Now, Venus will be conjunct Jupiter in the sign of Cancer in the month of June, which is again your fifth house. Now, Jupiter moved in the sign of Cancer mid last year. And in the month of June, it will conjunct Venus and also Mercury. So Jupiter will be amplifying this Venusian and Mercurial qualities around your fifth house matter. So whatever Jupiter touches, it brings blessings, growth, optimism, and all that. So with the fifth house energy, there is focus on creative breakthroughs, inspirations, romance, joy, confidence, dating, being emotionally open during this time. Now, here there can be some positive experience around children as well, your inner child healing. There's an opportunity for inner child healing as well. This is very much time for love, creativity, emotional expansion, and all that. You will feel more open. Your heart center will be more open during this time. Now, this month, Mercury will be squaring Saturn as well. Now, Mercury is in the sign of Cancer in your fifth house, and Saturn is moving through the sign of Aries, which is your second house. So Mercury from the fifth house will be squaring Saturn in your second house. So this brings tension, especially mental tension, communication related tension. There can be confrontation, or you feel restricted where your mental activity or your communication and all that are concerned. So here there can be a clash between what brings you joy and the financial pressure or your sense of self-worth. So you may feel that you want to enjoy life, but you need stability first. So this is a very grounding reality check kind of energy, and it is very strong from the 5th of June till the 15th of June. Now, on the 13th of June, Venus enters the sign of Leo, which is your sixth house. So sixth house is a house of your work, health, your daily routine, your lifestyle, your daily reality, your productivity, efficiency, and all that. Venus here will make life a little bit softer for you because Venus brings that soft energy, pleasant energy. So your work and your job matters, your work environment, your work condition, your colleagues and all become more pleasant and more easier to deal with. Here, there can be better workplace relationship as well. Also, there is motivation to improve your health, improve your routine, your daily structure. You want to improve, you want to bring some efficiency, some productivity in your daily life. So this is making life feel better day by day kind of energy. Now, on the 15th of June, there's a new moon in the sign of Gemini, which is your fourth house. Now, new moon brings fresh start, new energy, seeing things with a different perspective or a new perspective. And all this is occurring in your fourth house, which is the house of your home, family, your living situation, and all that. So this means a fresh start where home matters, family matters, your living situations are concerned. There is a fresh start in emotional foundation, your inner stability. This can mean a possible move or renovation or some sort of shift in family or home dynamic. This can bring some sort of psychological reset around your sense of safety, security, your stability, and all that. This is a deep emotional reset point for you with the new moon on the 15th of June in your fourth house, Pisces. Now, on the 19th of June, one of the most crucial transits of the year is occurring, which is Chiron entering the sign of Taurus. Now, Chiron has been moving through the sign of Aries since 2019. In the month of June 2026, it will enter Taurus, which is your third house. Now, Chiron deals with old wounds and also gives an opportunity for healing. Now, this is a long-term transit. It is an 8-year transit, all happening in your third house. Now, Taurus theme is around self-worth, is around your value system, your stability, how you sustain yourself, how you see yourself, how you value yourself. And third house deals with communication. It deals with your mindset, your outlook, your thought process, your voice, your speech, and all that. So this is a long-term healing transit around your communication, around your speech pattern, around your voice. This also brings some sort of healing in your close environment, with your relatives, with your siblings, and all that. This is definitely healing around your mental patterns, any anxiety patterns, anxiety loops that you may have. If you feel misunderstood or unheard, if you have been feeling misunderstood or unheard, Pisces, this Chiron here will help you heal those old wounds around these matters. So you begin learning to speak in a more grounded, more stable, and a more truthful way Pisces. So here you are learning to speak in a more grounded, more stable, and more truthful way, Pisces. Now on the 21st of June, the Cancer season begins, which means Sun enters the sign of Cancer, which is your fifth house. So again, the energy is back in your fifth house matters. So here the focus is on fifth house matter again, which is your creativity, passions, romance, dating, children, what brings you joy and pleasure, basically. So here you're seeking experiences that is more meaningful emotionally, more stronger creatively, and here you are also connecting with your heart center. Your heart is opening, or there's a need to open your heart. Now on the 28th of June, Mars enters the sign of Gemini, which is your fourth house. Now, fourth house is again the house of your home, family matters, living situation, and all that. So Mars entering your fourth house means your home matters, your family matters, your emotions, your living situation becomes very active. There can be increased activity in your home life with people around you. There can be possible tension or urgency around your living situation, around your domestic environment and all that. This can mean you're moving or you're cleaning or you're restructuring your living situation and all that. There can be a lot of emotional restlessness and anxiety as well. So Mars here will bring some sort of change to your environment. Now on the 29th of June, there's a full moon in the sign of Capricorn, and this is in your 11th house. Full moon is a time of culmination, of clarity, realization, revelation, understanding, awareness, and all that. All this is happening in your 11th house, which is a house of friendship circle, social circle. It's a house of your aspiration, hopes and wishes, your support system and all that. So here there is some sort of ending, culmination, or realization or clarity around your friendship circle, around your long-term goals, around your support system and all that. So something will become very clear around these matters. The community support, the group support that you may have, something will become clear around that. If there's a need for resolution around these matters, that will come to the surface as well. There can be increased activity around your network, community, and all that. Something about your future direction and social circle becomes very clear during this full moon on the 29th of June, Pisces. Now on the 29th of June, Mercury turns retrograde in the sign of Cancer in your fifth house. Now all the decisions that you've made since the 1st of June is up for review now. All this is around your fifth house matter. So during this time, any decisions or communication that you've had around creativity, self-expression, romance, romantic situations, children, all that, these may return and you may have to review these decisions or communications during this time. All these matters are up for revision, reassessment. Now there can be confusion as well around these matters, so there's a need to reflect the fifth house matters. So here you are reviewing these matters. There can be some miscommunication, misunderstanding as well. So just be mindful of that energy, Pisces. So overall, Pisces, the month of June 2026 is very much focused around creativity, pleasure, enjoyment, romance, dating, your children, and all that. This is also a time when there's a shift in emotional foundation, your home, your home matters. There's a restructure around your foundation. Also, you will gain clarity around your future aspiration, your social circle, your support system, your friendship matters, and all that, Pisces. Thank you.